All right, let's see this. An aide for Representative George Santos impersonated Kevin McCarthy's chief of staff to solicit money from GOP donors. Santos already faces federal law. Oh my God, my king, my goat. You need to stop.
There's
but like never stop. You know what I mean? You're thriving.
reporting from Politico that one of his aides impersonated McCarthy's top aide, pretended he was that person in order to get campaign finance or campaign donations. So there was an impersonation. There's also a watchdog group that's complaining that he violated campaign finance law by misrepresenting his spending and the source of his funding. I know that, he was elected. How do you survive this when it comes out that your top aide is impersonating the speaker's top aide to get money, Brez?
Yeah, that had been actually reported already. We're getting more details on it, that it was more egregious. It was actually happened in his first run for Congress. He ran in 2020, and he didn't succeed, and it happened again apparently in this cycle, which is just
literally the least corrupt Brazilian politician. How dare you? Okay, this is purebred Long Island corruption.
Insane, and probably some kind of criminal violation. The other thing is, and this has struck me all along, Santos loaned himself $700,000 for a campaign.
That part is like 100% needs to be investigated. He's probably going to get in trouble for that. There's no fucking shot that he just like happened to find $700,000 in his company. Where did that come from? Where did that come from, man? Where? Do we even know he's Brazilian at this point? What is actually true? Yeah, honestly, I don't even know if he's literally Brazilian. He is, God, he's so awesome. He's fucking sick, dude. I mean, I guess he did do check fraud. He did do scams in Brazil. He definitely did do that. That is true. So that is one thing that we do know. But I feel like that's normal, especially because he was trying to avoid the top of the hour ad break by subscribing for $5. Why he did the check fraud? Or he didn't realize that he could have done it for free with a Twitch Prime. You know what I mean? By connecting his Amazon Prime account to his Twitch account. Okay. But he didn't realize he could have just like sat in here and prayed that he could have just sat in here and prayed that he could gotten a gifted sub. And that's another way that he would have been able to avoid the top of the hour ad break. But, he didn't do any of that. So he got cooked. Fighter from Mars, thank you for the 5 get the subs, allowing 5 people to no longer see the ad break at the top of the hour. He's a 3-minute ad break now. Okay. He worked for a guy who ran a Ponzi scheme in Florida, and who knows how much money that belonged, how much of that money belonged to the people who would rather pretend they never invested instead it came under scrutiny. Never launder your money in a Ponzi scheme. Yeah. NP Sharky, thank you for the 5 get the subs. Blast is safe, thank you for the 5 get the subs. It's like, you guys think it's really cool when someone is a magician, right? You think it's really cool when someone is a magician and they do trickery. Okay. But when George Santos does it, okay, then, all of a sudden that's a problem? Like, I'm sorry. I didn't realize he was not allowed to do magic in Congress.
You can spend a limited amount of money on your own campaign. But the problem is that he was only making an income of $55,000 a year. So there's been questions all along where did Santos get this money?
Yeah, we used to be a country where our charlatans could become people in positions of power. AO 7.51 out of 10. Okay, not bad. 469 raters. Mr. Beast is a true socialist. What is this? How and why? He says, I want to build Feastables, Beast Burger, and eventually be able to sell parts of them for billions of dollars so I can give billions in future videos. These next few years will be an interesting experiment. Maybe I should IPO Feastables and Beast Burger while they're relatively small. I love some of you in this community going, that's socialism. Yeah, that is socialism. Exactly. But I don't know if that will make my life too stressful or not. Haha. Feel pretty confident. Easily 100x the rev we're doing. Sorry got cut from the team. Yeah, I was not ever invited, for the record, even though Todd actually asked me to co-host it recently. But these are professional teams anyway. These are like legit professional teams. Team Mogul Moves features Shroud. It's going to be streamed at Todek and Ludwig Ogren's channel on January 14th and 15th. But the great thing is Todek's going to be here, so we'll be able to hang out. So it's a bit rigged, but John is really good. So, there's some good players on the offline TV team as well. When are you going? What? You hear about Tog's plan to host 10 stacks for top players to avoid the gambling problem? Kind of dope for real. Yeah, I know. I can't trust anything you say because you were in the same room as that magic guy and he had y'all wrapped around his fingers. Bro, he was really good. Okay? He was really fucking good. Okay. Grand jury probing. I'm going to skip that. Don't care about that. Don't care about the Biden thing, the border thing. Here.
Turning to Washington now. And the House back to work today after the high drama last week. Kevin McCarthy finally elected Speaker on the 15th vote. Tempers flared on the floor. Potential for more chaos ahead. Congressional correspondent Rachel Scott is tracking it all on Capitol Hill. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning. And Kevin McCarthy survived the longest and most contentious battle for Speaker since before the Civil War. But far-right conservatives got just what they wanted as well, more leverage.
This morning, the House is preparing to gavel back into session with a new speaker.
That was easy, huh?
Republican Kevin McCarthy winning a once-in-a-century fight, now second in line to the presidency.
My father always told me, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
But it did not come easy. After more than a dozen grueling defeats,
a speaker has not been elected. A speaker has not been elected.
McCarthy was confident he had the votes on the 14th ballot. He fell one vote short. Matt Gaetz waiting until the very end to deliver the crushing blow.
Gaetz.
So now, a part of the Forever Kever coalition within the Republican Party is now asking understandable questions about what concessions were made to Kevin McCarthy. So now they're like, there's two problems here. One, Kevin McCarthy has lost some of the people within the ranks of the Republican Party who like don't want to fucking rock the boat, but also simultaneously are like, what the fuck did you give them? And why did you give them anything? Okay. And then the Never Kevers also have basically, weaponized their incompetence, weaponized their obstructionist strategy, and they will continue to do so with no end in sight. Especially because one of the concessions for the 14-time loser to finally win on the 15th time was basically to to allow everyone to basically vote him off if they want to with ease, like in the easiest way possible. Not only that though, but also they have a slim majority. And they have already shown that like 20 at least of them, 20 members of his caucus are going to be contentious all the goddamn time. So honestly, the one part of the story that I want to focus on at this stage, okay, the one part of the story that I want to focus on is my lock for this year. Okay. Some people saw it earlier. Some people paid attention to it. I think Kevin McCarthy and Marjorie Taylor Greene are fucking. Now, Kevin McCarthy, part of the, and this is a Felix trope. This is like a Felix's favorite fucking thing to bring up. Once had an extramarital affair in Congress. He had a wait, where is it? Here it is. Wait, oh, what the fuck? In the hours before House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy of California abruptly withdrew his candidacy to be the next Speaker of the House, he was sent an email from a conservative activist threatening to expose an alleged affair with a colleague. So this is like the old one, okay? That is the old one that he did. I think this was like in 2014 or something. Like, I don't remember what it was, but basically, the affair allegations were, I think, real, okay? And they did derail McCarthy's quest for the speakership. Vox wrote about it as well. That time, everyone in politics journals knew what happened, and readers, viewers, listeners were left in the dark. It's one of those things, right? A lot of people I speak to who aren't deeply involved in American politics are a little confused about what exactly is up with the House of Republicans these days. Why did Kevin McCarthy remove himself from running for speaker without even having a vote? And if the problem with McCarthy is that he wasn't conservative enough, why are people talking about Paul Ryan, who isn't any more conservative than McCarthy, and as possibly being able to step in the breach? What, in other words, is actually going on? Everyone in D.C. knew that the McCarthy-Elmers rumors were true. Renee Elmers was the person that Kevin McCarthy was allegedly having an affair with, who is a married Republican member of the Congress from North Carolina. And I think Kevin McCarthy was also married at the time, too, if I'm not mistaken. So this was the rumor that, took him out of the fucking running, which is pretty funny. Okay? Now, what gave him a little bit more clout, at least with like the Trump MAGA Republicans, is, and I suspect this, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Kevin McCarthy currently having an affair. Here are some photos that I'm going to show you, which is funny because this is literally like, it's like shipping culture shit. Hold on. Someone actually, here it is. Shouts out to friend of the show, Hasanabi head Grayson Gregory, okay, for this wonderful compilation that I'm going to be using to give you a 3-point power presentation. Get you someone, hopefully not a Titan, that looks at you the way Marjorie Titan Greene looks at Kevin McCarthy. That's slide number 1. Slide number 2, Kevin McCarthy and Marjorie Titan Greene, right again. Look at them. Look at them like caressing one another. Slide number 3, Marjorie Taylor Greene walking away from Kevin McCarthy while giving a shoulder rub. They are 100% fucking. I rest my case. Marjorie Taylor Greene, as a matter of fact, earlier this year, had to get a divorce from her husband because, and this is another like thing that everyone in DC knows that like no one really talks about, Marjorie Taylor Greene was, hitting the whole team, okay? She belonged to the streets. Good for her if she wants to do whatever the fuck she wants to, but she's a piece of shit. And, her promiscuity has nothing to do with that, but, she's a bad person. The promiscuity is whatever. I don't really give a shit, but it is something that you should keep in the back of your mind. The family values lady, Marjorie Taylor Greene, was pretty sure allegedly having sex with her CrossFit instructor. Anyway, there's no way she follows family values. Stop it. Yeah, 100%. So you hate him because he has Riz? No, I love that. I love that about him. So just wanted to point that out. Okay, I just wanted to show you that. I wanted to, that's a quick aside, but I do think that MTG is having sexual relations with Kevin McCarthy. Also, M&M's are set to release their first ever all-female character packages. Somebody call up Tucker Carlson. He's probably going to fucking have an aneurysm. Now, if you tell me Lauren Boebert is having sex with Matt Gaetz, that I don't actually have more information on. But that is also speculation from those in D.C. and it could be the case. I don't know though. I'm not going to put that in as a lock. And as much as I am not a fan of parasocial shipping, I do think that this is happening here. Okay, let's continue.
What happened next was dramatic. McCarthy confronted Gates, and then Republican Mike Rogers taking it to another level, physically held back from going after Gates. Some Republicans trying to defend the altercation.
Sometimes democracy's messy, but I would argue that's exactly how the founders intended it.
Even Donald Trump stepping in. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene trying to pass her phone to one of the holdouts, the former president waiting on the line. After a 28-minute scramble, a deal. McCarthy elected on the 15th ballot, but the concessions he made to convince the holdouts could haunt him going forward.
Power concedes nothing without a demand, never has and never will.
One of those concessions, allowing a single lawmaker to force a vote to remove the Speaker of the House.
President Biden is now faced with the realities of a divided government, and Republicans are promising to be a check on his administration, George.
Yeah, legislation is going to be tough, but we do know the House is going to try to ramp up investigations.
Exactly, George. And Republicans are looking to establish a special committee to investigate ongoing investigations, including those surrounding former President Donald Trump. Democrats are warning that this puts them on a collision course with the Department of Justice, but also warning.
The camera shots on this debacle were very good. Why were they so different? I think it's because Congress isn't like in session yet or something. I don't know what the exact reason is, but I believe C-SPAN has like rules when everyone is like, when Congress is in session officially, once they have a Speaker of the House. But I think like C-SPAN was granted special access to additional camera angles. Like they should always do that. For the record, they should literally always do that. Yeah, the controlling party takes them over from C-SPAN once there's a speaker. I think that's the reason. Anyway, listen. You know what my fucking take is. You know I've been saying this. Like, I think Congress needs to have more fights. Congress needs to literally engage in fisticuffs, maybe even duels, whip each other with, like, canes and stuff like they used to back in the fucking day. And C-SPAN should unironically capture all of it, right? And I think if they were to do that, AOC explained it apparently. But, like, if they were to do that, more people would be interested in fucking boring-ass politics, bro.
The reason that C-SPAN cameras are wilding out right now is because before a speaker is selected, and in certain very rare events like the State of the Union and selection of the speaker, C-SPAN gets unlimited camera access to the House floor. Now, usually when a speaker is selected and rules are passed, that also comes with it very limited access to who can film and what can be filmed and what angles of the House floor can be filmed. Now, I don't know for sure why, but I imagine that part of it has to do with attack ads. When one member is being seen discussing or talking about something to another member, it can be weaponized against them, just the fact that they had a conversation, and that could kind of get in the way of negotiating in Congress. I don't know, but that's just like one step.
Yeah, it's sick. I think that they should not let that happen. I think they should unironically keep that shit popping.